Okay, everybody, so we are going to start as we are going to record the webinar and we will upload it in the YouTube, in our YouTube channel of FREAM. I will start and the people who's left can join whenever they want. Okay, so welcome to the third webinar of the FREAM project called Sustainable Textiles and Fashion Webinar. My name is Patricia Moñino from ITEX, and I will be the one guiding you through this webinar, where you will know about the Hub Valencia, their scientists and technologies, as well as the projects that have already been developed here. You will be able to use the chat to ask our team, or if it's a question that you want to be responded live, you can use the button questions in the black banner if you scroll down into the screen of the Zoom. Okay, and so I will start. FREAM is a collaborative research project where selected artists and designers team up with a community of scientists to rethink the manufacturing process of the fashion industry. Over a 9-month period, both artists and scientists will co-research and co-create, guided by a specific art and tech collaboration methodology, in which they will experience some of the most powerful technologies from some of the world's most cutting-edge labs across 3 thematic hubs. Today we are going to talk about Hub Valencia, but you already have in our YouTube channel Hub Linz and Hub Berlin webinars. Our topic today will be mainly about the co-creation in between technology and artistic sphere. And in particular, we are going to talk about the projects developed in the first call of this project, which are, for example, vegan leather based on residues of cork caps for bottles, development of an adaptative archifilament thread that modifies its shape with meteorological phenomena, zero-waste fashion line made by products without generating fabric residue, and the development of materials based on natural products and food waste, which are 100% biodegradable materials. So first, I will introduce you to my colleague, Carolina Prieto. She is the FREAM Cal manager, as well as the Hub Valencia manager, and she will tell you now about our hub. After her speech, we will have the pleasure of having Carmina Ferri, which is the CEO of Care Applications, one of the companies of the Hub Valencia team, who will give us a short and interesting overview about the relationship between sustainability and the future of fashion. After her speech, our artists for the first call will show us the outcomes of their co-research projects, and you will also know our scientists and technologies, and you will be able to get inspired by the projects we have already made. To end up, Isabel Bertz will moderate a panel discussion with all the Hub Valencia team, where you will be able to ask questions through the chat and the question button. Then, around 6:30, we will count this session and present you the new call, which we are looking forward you apply for. So now, Carol's turn. Thank you, Patricia, for your explanation.
Thank you, Patricia, for your introduction. My name is Carolina Prieto. I'm I want to explain a little bit about FREAM project. Wait a moment. Welcome to everybody for the third webinar of FREAM. I'm Carolina Prieto and I work in ITEX, Textile Research Institute. I'm the hub manager of Hub Valencia, and I want to explain a little bit about the FREAM project and what Hub Valencia can offer you if you want to apply for our hub. REFREAM is an European project funding by European Commission, and the main goal is to find the new ways about the future of the fashion and the meaning for the society. In REFREAM project, we can offer 2 calls with 20 artists and designers where they can co-create with our art and tech teams in one of our 3 co-creation spaces. So each our artist will receive 55,000 euros funding for co-creating innovation art concepts with our scientists in 9 months. In this project, we have around 12 partners located in Europe, and also we have 1 partner in Israel, and we have 3 co-creation spaces. Here we have all the partners. Maybe you can, or you know about some of them. In other case, you can see, and you can check on the web page also. REFREAM offers you the possibility to choose according to your interest about co-create in one of these 3 hubs. Hub Links is focused in additive manufacturing to 2D to 3D process. And after that, we have Hub Berlin focused discovering smart style and smart applications. And finally, Hub Valencia is focused on sustainable finishing and circular systems. ITEX is one of the 3 hubs on this project and is responsible also about the call. We will launch the 2nd call next week on July 1st, as Patricia said before. And ITEX is also managing the project for Hub Valencia. So when you apply for REFREAM, one of your choice can be the challenge from linear to sustainable circular systems. Well, our hub will be based in Alcoy, located 100 kilometers south from Valencia and 50 kilometers from Alicante. And your partner will be ITEX, Care Application, and Profactor. Our common goal will be to use technologies in order to improve the sustainability of the fashion, get inspired by nature, working in cycles. The future of the fashion concept should lead to a new textile system in line with the principles of circular economy, integrating people, technology, and the environment. The sustainable technologies like the ones offered in Hub are designed to reduce energy, water, chemicals, and the consumption. Moreover, not using water and chemical products leads to a zero wastewater process. In our co-creation space, you will be able to work with many technologies, and our technician will explain more about what technologies Hub Valencia will provide you if you apply to the challenge Rethink Fashion from linear to circular systems. Actually, REFREAM project is at the end of the first call, and the artists are finishing the prototypes for the final presentation. Today, you have the possibility to know our 4 artists and their project. Here is Jeff Montes with Marinero project, Yuyan Son with Cooking New Materials project, Elizabeth Yayot with Fragment Garments, and Fabio Molinas with Leather for Vegetarian. All of you will explain about their co-creation process and experience in Hub Valencia. Thanks for joining to our webinar and enjoy with all that we prepared today. Thank you.
Thank you, Carolina, for the clear information. Now I will share my screen again. And now I would like to introduce you to Carmina Ferri. She is the CEO of Care Applications, which is one of the companies of Hub Valencia. She is a textile and industrial technical engineer that founded Care Applications in 2015, born of the passion to create a company that takes care of the environment, the product, and the client. Thanks to the extensive working experience in production, Care Applications researches, produces, and markets special mechanical devices for washing and dyeing machines. Applications that allow improving, optimizing, and modernizing existing machines, as well as making them more versatile and ecological at a reduced cost. Ethics and sustainability are the two words that drive her professional career, conducting research and development in ecological methods and systems in the ready-made garment process industry. So Carmina, when you want, you can share your screen.
Thank you, Patricia. Sorry, I have here the... I close this. Okay. Thank you, Patricia, again for presenting myself and my company. I am going to, first of all, I will start showing in numbers and images, which is the negative influence that the textile industry has in the ecosystem. So this first slide shows that the textile industry is the second most contaminating industry, and that is the responsible of 20% of the total global wastewater, and also produce 21 million tons of wastes per year. Looking at all these numbers, thanks to our working experience in production, we created in 2015 Care Applications company. Where we care, as Patricia was explaining, about the environment, products, the customers, and also the worker. And how do we do this? We design, we make research and development, and we design and produce mechanical accessories that we install in existing machines. So we are reusing them. So we go deeply into a circular system. We renew and optimize the traditional machinery, and we make them more ecological. These devices are customized by ourselves together with the client, and we adapt them to the existing plant also. And one of these technology is the nebulization system that we have called EcoFinish. With EcoFinish, what we do is that we nebulize water plus the product. And during this nebulization, what we do is to slowly create a mist inside the washing machine or dyeing machine together with the product. So the garments and the material are absorbing this mist with the chemical product and with a minimum use of resources. I am showing with this small video how the mist, the micronization, is produced. Garments are running inside the washing machine. This is a sample machine where you can see now that we are nebulizing the product plus the small quantity of water. So we apply what the garments or the material is able to absorb without any waste. And for you to be able to compare, this would be a traditional process in bath where we have using water, a huge amount of water if compared with the nebulization and also chemicals. This is an example of an industrial machinery where we have installed our eco-finish equipment that is a modular system that is placed around the existing machine. This is just for you to understand only in one process, in one machine, how many garments are produced. So in this case, the loading was 120 kilos and 300 garments was processed using nebulization. So the big advantage of this technology is that we can save from, depending on the process, of course, from 50 to 90% of water, from 33% to 90% of chemicals, 80% of energy, and also from 50 to 90% on the water treatment. All this reusing the existing, already existing machine. In this slide, we are showing an example of how many liters of water we can save for this particular process. In this case, we are saving 60% of water. In this case, that we are making an oxidation process, we are washing a denim garment, we are saving 76% of water. All these are real examples. And just to understand that we have 90% already, 90 machines, washing machine or dyeing machine working with our system worldwide. And this is for you to understand how many liters can be saved by using this technology. Following the dyeing process comparison, for 1 kilo garment, we are saving 30 liters of water. If this we multiply by 100 kilos that can be dyed in a production machine, we are saving 3,000 liters of water in only one process. If the company is running 80 processes in one day, we are saving 24,000 liters of water. In 1 year, 330 days per year, working days per year, it can be saved 8 million liters of water. One machine, 1 year, and we have 90 machines, it can be saved 713 million of liters of water in 1 year. And this is something that is the reality. This is a fact that is happening now. Of course, this is at the beginning, but we put all our effort that this will increase. If we talk of the future of the fashion, we really believe that the fashion should push also to use this kind of technology that allow to run not also non-traditional processes, but also other materials and chemistry. Also adding different substrates. These technologies allow the personalization of the garments and making possible the maximum of the customization. And because it's a very open system, not only standard or standard processes can be done in a sustainable way, but also the use of other innovative materials. Within the FREAM, as an example of this, a very good example is that within the FREAM, in the first call, there are two co-creation projects. That one is done by Fabio with ITEX and us about the recycled natural bio-based material that has been applied through this technology, and 3D printing pieces that have been dyed through the nebulization system within the Elizabeth project, using this nebulization technology. And as in the panel discussion, we can afterwards speak deeper about this, because we did just a short introduction, and so I hope that you find interesting this note.
Thank you so much, Carmina, for this interesting approach of the two terms, sustainability and fashion. I will now share my screen again, and what I'm going to do now is to present you the artist as well as the scientist of Hub Valencia. So in first place, Fabio Molinas will talk about his project Leather for Vegetarians. Okay. It will be really short overview of the outcomes, just 3 minutes, but I'm hoping it will inspire you. So I will stop sharing my screen, and Fabio, you can share yours.
¿Has visto?
You are mute.
Now, hello everybody. Okay, share screen. Okay. So, as Patricia was saying before, this is this project is called Leather for Vegetarian, but now changed during this co-creation process in Lebu, which in my language, in Sardinian language, means likeness. And I also changed leather for skin, because there are very strict regulation about calling leather something that is not real leather. So it's better to don't use leather for vegan leather or all kind of leather. So in this case, it's Lebu genuine cork skin. And what is the challenge for me was to create a democratic and bio-based product to replace the animal leather, which is one of the most polluting process in fashion industry, and at the same time reducing the CO2 impact in short term. So the solution is creating a revolutionary and organic leather-like that we call Lebu, that is made from cork stoppers, and is okay, why not working? Okay. is made by cork stoppers as a waste from the cork industry, and in the Mediterranean countries we have a lot of this waste, and it's very difficult to dismiss, and if it's burned it produces toxic acids for in the environment. So is a waste that it can create more problems. My values tackling this project was, of course, the environmental sustainability, because we are in Valencia, but also I pay attention to rural economy, because also cork industry is very now has a very big problem with the big multinationals. So I would like to boost the rural economy again, and also preserve the cultural heritage, because I think it's very important for each project to keep this heritage that we learn, this know-how, how to do the things. Regarding the waste, I'm focusing on only waste stopper waste, because they are particles that are very small, so it's very easy to work with them, and also they are very stable with different temperatures. So we have, as you see here in the flow, I take from when the stopper is sanding, is be sand, for then to be delivered, and also to recycle the old stoppers. So in this way we keep local material, we promote social innovation, because we are also using factories that are already existing in Sardinia, in this case Spain, Italy, and also it helps to decrease the carbon footprint, because also because the cork tree has it works like a filter. It retains the CO2, because the plant needed to grow. So more you harvest, better cleans the air, and also is better for the health of the plant. And also only 30% of this cork harvest, only the 30% reach the quality to become a stopper. So the rest is sub byproducts, and is very useful to use this powder. This is our co-creation project. In this case with Carmina is a mix between Carmina and ITEX. So we studied the particle, how they keep the air inside, how is the shape. So you can see it's very different. The test I did for the skin, for the leather, we can call, is only like 10% of the tests we did during the first co-creation period. And I also had to study the competence. So we have here cacti leather, grape leather, Pignatex is very famous. So there is not a very competition between this small brand, because they are starting, we are starting almost at the beginning of this fashion revolution. So we are now looking for growth, no? For the growing. The part of this research has been done also in industries, and I decided to keep the advantage of cork and also extract the aroma, the scent, sorry, because I think I think a product nowadays has to be have to reach different senses. So to increase also its sustainability, I would like to add the cork scent, because it's useful, is something that we can take from the same waste. So from in the midterm, I started the project at the beginning with only the cork skin, with the leather for vegetarian, but during the co-creation we could develop together 3 different products. One is the leather, another is the NANOCORK, which is the Carmina technology, and also is NEOBUCK, which is like a NOBUCK, but made totally from vegetables, from cork. So the essential feature of the cork, I will be very fast here because I'm finishing the minute. So the essential feature is bio-based, is animal friendly, and it looks like leather. Now this is now we are still developing, it's almost at 80%. By the end of the project, I will show the final result, but with drying time was reduced 60%, 90%, and we reduced a lot of mistaken problem that was given before. The second process in NANOCORK is different from the NEOBUCK and the leather, because is a finish, is a new denim finish. It give worn effect on clothes, and so it is another technology, but is taking importance. And a lot of people are asking me for this kind of effect because they want to apply in their own brand. Then the third one is the NEOBUCK. NEOBUCK is this is the results of the nanonebulization with Carmina, the NANOCORK, so we can achieve different effects. And the last one is the NEOBUCK, in Spanish is ante, and is a vegetal sweat, basically. So we achieve from a waste 3 different products, totally bio-based, to create this kind of product. Boots, shirt, bag is very versatile, as a very versatile material. By the way, if you would like to know how is the process better and you have more time, in our ReFREAM website, you can see the video and see and know more about the process. So my side is finished. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Fabio. And now Jeff Montes will explain about Marinero project. Jeff, when you want. You're muted now.
Oh, is this okay?
Yes.
So can everybody see my screen? Yeah. Okay, so I will start with a video. So for project ReFREAM, I have developed the adaptive archifilament. It's a special yarn that tangles and twists without around its shape, based on a special coating. What you see here is that I will develop this designed yarn into the process of the weaving machines from the Textile Lab Tilburg in the Netherlands. I have been developing this yarn with ITEX, but in Valencia, but also with Wood K Plus in Linz. The version with ITEX, we tried to do one technology. It's called the dip coating technique. And with Wood K Plus, we tried to develop the melt coating technique. So what you eventually see in my research are material installations with garments that react on weather conditions. So the concept of my project is tailored by weather. And what you see here is, for example, a waste effect created by the activated yarn inside the garment and the fabric. So to go on, because it has been a very extensive research and a very inspiring process. What I want to finish with is a preview of my latest blog. I have been working as a textile designer, focusing on weaving over the last 6 years. And what I have been developing right now at this stage, it's also knitwear. So what you see here on the screen is a preview from the first knitting techniques that we did. And I would really recommend you to visit the website from ReFREAM and see the blogs, because it gives a really good insight on all the technologies and also the diary from the designer and the artist. You can see all the steps and all the people that we meet and all the inspiring stories within the project. So this is a preview from my latest blog. It will be uploaded in July. I will be talking about the knitting process, and here you can already see a preview of the adaptive archifilament within a textile. And what is really interesting for me at this stage from the project is that with weaving, I am only limiting myself within a square. But with the world of knitting, you can create all these different kind of shapes within that limitation. So it's really inspiring to learn about this step by step and surprising yourself as a designer. And yeah, hopefully the second call designers will find this very insightful for the second call. So I wish you good luck, and this was my presentation.
Thanks a lot, Jeff. Nice that you show us the blog post for the people who is attending. We have a blog where you can check the stories of all the artists. And now Yu Yang Song will show you the presentation of her project, Cooking New Materials. Hi, Yu Yang.
Hi. Hi, guys. So I will share my screen. So here. Oh. Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Yu Yang Song. I am a textile designer based in Berlin. I have been working on the development of biomaterial. My project is Cooking New Materials. It is an independent developed technique which aims to process bio-waste into a soft but yet robust leather-like material. Banana and orange peel or soya bean residue are combined with a nature-binding agent as a substrate. The resulting composite is fully biodegradable and it can be easily reused after recooking process. It is a 100% zero-waste nature product. Moreover, the biomaterial provides similar toughness, durability, and water resistance as normal leather material. Especially, it conserves fruitiness, smell, refined texture, and feels very good on touch. We came up with this concept by observing the life of conventional textile, and we found out that there are great potentials by using bio-waste and create a brand new biodegradable new material. On top of that, by recycle, redesign, and remanufacture, we would like to create an ecosystem which promotes a sustainable lifestyle. Now I will present you a short video of the project. We process the material with different technologies, such as dyeing, and here is the weaving, and laser cutting, also the laser printing, and the different pattern molding. Recently, I also developed biodegradable buttons to prepare for the future clothing designs. And now I would like to introduce my new one-piece collection, Appeal. This office desk side accessory are completely made from one single piece of material without any adhesive or sewing. Different parts are held together by materials self-adhesiveness. And our focus is not only in practicability, but also the aesthetics and nature of environment friendly. They're not merely conserving the environment, but also help to restore the environment. Our target group is those who want to fully enjoy the products they use on a daily basis in complete respect for the environment. Okay, that's all. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Yu-Yang. So the fourth artist is Elizabeth Jajot. Okay.
Yeah.
And she will tell you now about the project Fragment Garments.
So should I share my screen or the video? Yeah, perfect.
Doing it.
Perfect. Thanks a lot.
Yes.
So hi everyone, my name is Elizabeth Jajot. I'm a French fashion designer based in Paris and also an academic consultant at the Sorbonne University, currently preparing a PhD in cooperation with the French Fashion Institute on modularity in fashion design. In 2017, I founded the research and design studio called Fragment Garments, building synergies between traditional fashion design, prospective academic research, and digital craftsmanship for a circular fashion future. The pseudo-fragment garments offers alternative scenarios and processes for garment longevity and user involvement. Dedicated to reconciling sustainability with the pleasure of trends renewal, I create seamless modular clothing, which can be manually assembled or dismantled by the user without any technical skills or machine. Thanks to the plug-and-play attachment system, the consumer can easily and quickly transform his own garments according to changing trends, needs, or size. Favoring a systemic approach, Fragment Garments imagine a new fashion supply chain for the circular economy based on a local and on-demand production of seamless modular clothing using computer numerical control technologies. To counter fast fashion brands designing cheap and trendy products in their headquarters, outsourcing the fast-paced production in low-wage countries, but retaining control over distribution through their globalized retail chains, causing important social and environmental impacts, we propose to invert this paradigm by relying on a globalized trade of digital pattern design, sold online as blueprints, with production and distribution gathered in an urban micro-manufacturing units, with shopping, customization service, digital fabrication, and product cycling areas, all in one place. Based on this reusable and recombinable garment spare parts conception, 2 clothing lines have been developed in cooperation with my partners Profactor in Linz, Austria, and ITEX and Care Application in Alcoy, España, within the FREAM project. The first one explored the upcycling potential of seamless modular conception and result in a collection of monochromatic garments using production textile waste to create patchwork combining numerous materials and texture. The second one, called B-Square, explore its customization potential in order to lessen unsold and overstocks. The collection offers to rely on a selection of white fabrics and transparent 3D printing filaments to propose not only on-demand production of seamless modular clothing, but also on-demand dyeing and finishing of laser-cut garment spare parts and 3D printed clothing fasteners using the sustainable and non-polluting micro-nebulization technology previously presented by Carmina from Care Application. So here it is.
Thanks so much. So after our 4th artist from the first call, I will introduce you to the Hub Valencia team. You have already known Carolina and Carmina, and now we have Belén Hinojosa, She's from Care Applications, and she will explain you a little bit about the technologies you can experience if you come to co-create with us. Belen, remember to unmute when you're ready.
Okay, sorry. ¿No se me oye? Do you hear me?
Yes,
Okay.
we hear you.
Okay. Well, hello to everyone. My name is Belen Hinojosa. I'm industrial design and textile engineer, and I'm a researcher at Care Applications, and I'm going to present you our facilities in our laboratory. As my colleague Carmina has explained, in our laboratory, we have installed the EcoFinish nebulization system in a sample washing machine. Also installed, we have the closing system, which is an accessory that let us dye with nitrogen. It is a specific for a type of reducing dyes. And we will have an oven available that will allow us to polymerize resin on garments. Through the EcoFinish nebulization system, we can achieve different finishes and effects. For dyeing processes, we start with a blank garment prepared for dyeing, and we can obtain results of standard dyes, flat and penetrated, with conventional or with natural dyes. Space dyes and fade effects can also be achieved with white seams or just the opposite. Another option is oxidation. We can start from dyed garments or from denim, achieving different levels of oxidation or bleaching depending on what you want to obtain. In addition, in special finishes, we can apply functional effects. In this case, a function is added that is not visually appreciated, such as different resins that help ironing or waterproofing. Another way is also the application of microcapsules of antibacterial or antimicrobial agents. We offer our experience and our know-how to co-create in an ethical and sustainable way. Well, with Fabio, we have achieved successful results developing a residue that was stable and sprayable, having the control of the nebulization on different garments and on different fabrics like denim or corduroy. With Elizabeth, we have been testing several kinds of ecological fabrics, dyeing them with natural dyes. Besides, in collaboration with Profactor, we have done dye tests on 3D printed pieces. This allows a maximum customization of the articles. In summary, we can offer for the next call the possibility of nebulizing new materials, as we have done with cork that we had never used before. Apply antibacterial or antimicrobial finishes, carry out dyeing processes on new materials, such as 3D printed pieces, or any kind of finishing on garments, like garment wash, garment dye, resins, applications for functional finishes. This is a very versatile technology with many possibilities because it is not all invented yet. And that's all from my side. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Belen. So now I will introduce you to Elena Guillen. She works in Profactor in Linz, Austria. And she also collaborates with Hub Valencia. Elena, when you're ready. You're mute.
Hi, Patricia, can you see the screen?
Yes.
Okay, so hello everyone. My name is Elena Guillen. I am a material scientist working at the company Profactor, as Patricia just said. We are part of Hub Valencia, but actually we are not in Valencia. We are in a city called Steyr in Austria. We are an applied research company. One of our fields of work is additive micro nanofacturing. And what we offer to ReFREAM project is our expertise in 3D printing. During the first call of ReFREAM, I was co-creating with Elizabeth Jayot. We have available at Profactor 3 different 3D printing technologies, which are different with respect to the technology they are based on, the materials that they use, and also the finishing and the quality and resolution of the printed part. I will go briefly through the three of them. So the first one is a desktop 3D printer from the company Ultimaker, which works with the technology FDM, which stands for Fused Deposition Modeling. This is probably the most familiar technology for those who already work on 3D printing. FDM is a filament-based 3D printing technology. This filament is a thermoplastic material. That means that it's a plastic material that becomes moldable when at certain elevated temperature and then solidifies upon cooling. During the printing process, as you can see in the video, this filament is heated to its melting point and then extruded through a nozzle to create a 3D object. This extrusion nozzle moves in the XY direction plane, and the building platform moves down, forming the object layer by layer. With Elizabeth, we use this technology for freeze prototypes and heels that using a silvery material. And the objective with this technology and with the project with Elizabeth was to obtain heels which are resistant, but at the same time they are light. The second technology we have at Profactor is also a desktop 3D printer with the technology SLA, which stands for stereolithography. And in this case, this technology doesn't use filaments, and it is a resin-based technology. The resin is a UV curable material. That means UV light changes this liquid resin from the liquid state to solid state, and forming a hardened plastic. No, the system that we have at Profactor, it's from the company Formulas, and in this system, this liquid resin is in a tank, and the building platform is lowered into the resin, leaving only a very thin layer of liquid between this platform and the bottom of the tank. And then a UV laser goes through the transparent window at the bottom of the resin tank, and this laser is selectively hardening the material. The object is built in consecutive layers, and each of layers can be less than 100 microns. During the co-creation with Elizabeth, we use this technology for the fabrication of some fasteners, these very beautiful fasteners for her modular garments. And with this technology we have, we can use only one material at one time, the same for the FDM. And we have available several materials with different colors and properties. Finally, the most powerful and interesting technology that we have for 3D printing at Profactor is polyjet technology. It's the most interesting with respect to the quality of the finishing and also the resolution you can get. And in this system there is also a material which is hardened by UV light, but instead of having this material in a tank, as in the case of the SLA process, the liquid resin, which in this technology it's called ink, is jetted through very small nozzles into a building platform. The technology works similarly to a traditional inkjet printing, but instead of jetting droplets of color inks onto a paper, we are jetting this liquid plastic, which is solidified by the UV light. Very complex shapes can be fabricated with this technology, and it offers the possibility to use more than one material at the same time. This is really interesting, for example, for obtaining 3D printed objects with different colors and also combining materials with different properties such as soft and hard materials. So this is in the video, you can see how the droplets are jetted during the polyjet process. With Elizabeth, we're working together in fabricating again several fasteners using polyjet technology. Of the 3 different technologies we have at Profactor, the first 2 ones we use commercial materials, but for this polyjet we are open to develop with new materials, with new inks which can be used for the polyjet process. So that's all from my side. Let's co-create, and thanks.
Thanks, Elena, for being so fast. We are pretty late in our agenda, but now we are going to finish with ITEX scientists, Luca Capelli and Oscar Calvo. If you stop sharing your screen, please, Elena, they will share their presentation. Thank you.
Okay. I'm going to share this presentation with my colleague, Oscar Calvo. And each of us introduce and present different type of technology that can use in ITEX Institute. So today I would like to speaking about different eco technology process, such as laser, coating system, natural dyeing, ozone treatment, hot melt bonding, and coloring. The first one is laser technology. So the laser is using nowadays in the fashion company in order to reproduce aging effect on the clothing or textile. But it's possible to thinking about this technology in order to reproduce any image that can you produce in software, for example, CorelDRAW, Adobe Illustrator or Photoshop, and transfer this image to other material, for example, textile, but also we can making in wood, glass, or leather. Okay. In ITEX, we have 2 different lasers. In the same time, I start the video in order to show the opportunity. No funziona. Okay, it's not. No. Okay, but in this slide, okay, we have can see 4 different images about different working with the laser technology. The first one is the brown chip is the leather. The second one is the synthetic textile, and below we can see 2 different images with developed with Yu Yang and Elizabeth Yoyot in the FREAM project. about the using of a laser with different material. Okay, Oscar, you want to start to speaking about?
Yeah, the second technology for finishing and sustainable finishing is the coating system. It's a system that is based, or is like a knife coating technique that is used for the application of one functional layer on a fabric. This kind of layer is based on some binders or resins that could be bio-based or synthetic, like acrylics, for example, in the case of synthetics, or biopolyurethanes in the case of bio-based end products. And of course, this kind of coatings can be functionalized with different functional additives. For example, some minerals, some powders, some pigments or nanoparticles or color-changing additives. Here in the right part of the slide, you can see an example of a color-changing coating that was done as a signature label for the indication of a kind of danger coming for heat for firefighters. You can see that the room temperature is blue, and when the temperature in the room is increased, the color of the coating paste is able to change to red or yellow, indicating some danger to the end user. Of course, this kind of technology can be used for different additives, and for example, is the base technology for the project that Fabio developed with the use of cork, like an additive for coating paste, and the achievement of a kind of product similar to leather.
Okay, the next one is not a technology. I think about this with a technique. So the natural dyeing, start to using or study natural dyeing in ITEX 3 years ago. And we're thinking about this technique because it's a good opportunity to recover a traditional dyeing with plant and introduce this in your eco project. For example, in this image, we can see 3 different dyeing about over textile, and below different material development by Yu Yang, using, for example, indigo, chlorophyll, or different plant using normally for traditional natural dyeing. So I think about this as a good opportunity of you in order to introduce this eco aspect in your ideas. The next one is ozone. This is using in a fashion company, in fashion market, in order to obtaining aging effect on indigo dyeing. So the process, the production cycle about this technique start to introduce from the atmosphere oxygen in the tumbler, and with the electric reaction transform this into in ozone. So start to O2 and obtaining O3 with electric reaction. At the final of the operation, the ozone is transformed back to oxygen and released to the atmosphere. Below we can see the different shade that you can obtain with the ozone, only changing the timing of process. So start to dark blue of indigo and obtain a more lighter blue after say 6 hours. In the next slide, we can see some image about the different opportunity of this technology with the indigo dye.
Yeah, and last but not least, the technologies for bonding different materials using some kind of adhesives. Of course, in this case, the adhesives are based on green and sustainable technologies, are adhesives based on hot melt polymers, not solvent-based or not water-based adhesives. For the application of this kind of processes, gradually we need to melt the polymer and the adhesive, and different combinations of materials can be produced. You can bond kind of weaved fabric with a membrane or a knitted fabric with a foam in order to develop different combinations of composite materials. For example, the jackets you use for running or for climbing, jogging, etc., are made with this kind of system, with an external fabric that is waterproof and an internal layer that is a membrane that promotes breathability to the composite. This is one system. Of course, we have. Can you pass to the other? Okay. We have other two different more technologies. The first hot melt technology was for flexible materials. The second one, the dual blade lamination system, is for more rigid materials, for carpets or rugs, etc. And of course, the third system is the calendering, the hot calendering system, that is mainly focused for polyester. It's the same system you use for transfer printing technology. The same system with the use of heat and pressure and thermosensitive films can be used for the obtention of special effects on fabrics like metallization, this kind of snake skin performance on fabrics. It depends of the functional film you are going to use. So some special effects from the aesthetic performance and also the functional performance can be obtained with this kind of technology.
Okay, we are finished. Thank you.
Thank you, Luca and Oscar. Okay, so everybody.
Hi, I'm just going to jump in here, Patricia. One moment. We have a question from Alon, who would love to hear our thoughts on innovation in 3D printing fibers to be more adaptable to the body. So he's talking about self-heating and cooling fabrics, for example, and if we believe it will be financially more achievable in the near future. So I'll just read it again. What are our thoughts on innovation in 3D printing fibers to be more adaptable to the body, for example, self-heating and cooling fabrics, and if we believe it will be financially more achievable in the near future? I'm thinking maybe, is Elena still with us? Maybe Elena could speak to that. Elena, are you still here?
Yeah, actually, I think the best person to reply this is Jeff. Yeah, because you know, he has been working on the development of 3D printed fibers to adapt to the body. So I think it's really related to his project.
Jeff, you want to take it away?
I have been thinking about this question, and actually, to be honest, it's a matter of what kind of materials you use, because each material has a different price tag on it. If you look at materials that are used now, mainly in the 3D printing world, there's a lot of plastics. But if you want to adapt, for example, towards more sustainable or environmental friendly materials, you need to scale up the production system. So I think the challenge here is more in a matter of investment within a new technology, because if you want to have new materials that are not existing yet, or materials that need to adapt to the body, or materials that should be more responsive. It's a matter of the financials, where you are willing to find partners to invest towards incorporating new materials, especially on a larger scale. For example, if I can use one example, seaweed, actually now it's a very huge topic globally, also on 3D printing, but also yarn-wise, also within the fashion industry. But here you can see also that it's a matter of incorporating these new materials within a world that is currently using other materials on a very large scale. So this shift should have more time and a step-by-step process until you can sustain it on a larger scale. I think,
and economically speaking, is it, can you tell us a little about, is it practical at this point? I mean, what, you know, as a young designer, to incorporate some of these materials?
well, you need to find investors, because as a young designer working in an industry where you are confronted with the limits that machines can give you. So, for example, if me as a designer, for example, if I would go to a factory or a production company, and if you want to use new materials, you need to listen to the technicians and to the chemists and to the teams that are currently working there, and listen to their advice on what you need as a team to maybe upgrade the machine, find investors, to be really realistic and start the dialogue with people that you need in order to create innovation. So I think the biggest challenge here is time and patience.
Thanks, Jeff.
You're welcome.
Patricia?
Yeah. Okay, so now we will start with the panel discussion. Okay, it will be moderated by Isabel Bertz. Isabel Bertz is part of the Art and Tech team of FREAM, and also the head of Instituto Europeo de Design in Madrid. She is a designer, educator, and researcher, and since 2015 is leading IED Research and Education Center in Madrid, where she and her team develop research programs and test new learning environments at the intersection of design, fashion, craft, and technology. Thank you so much, Isabel, for taking part into our webinar. We can start now with the panel discussion.
Yeah, good afternoon, everybody. And thank you to the Art Tech teams for your presentations. Actually, it's very extraordinary that you share with us, with the audience, your research progress, because usually research is something very restricted, so we don't have access to it. And coming back to we have actually the audience inside, so I think, David, please feel free to jump in with new questions. Coming back to Jeff's comment before, FREAM actually offers a very extraordinary and unique scenario for research during a 9-month period, and which is also funded. So this is very interesting, and usually designers don't access to these opportunities. I don't know so many others. I would like to focus, to start the first question, on the co-creation experience, because FREAM is about bringing together the worlds of the art and the science and the technology. And Fabio, I would like to start with you. You collaborated with Luca and Belen, and you are welcome, Luca and Belen, to join this question. how was really this co-research and co-creation experience? Because as we saw, you really discovered new things during the process. So how is it to work together? Let's give us an insight of your collaboration, how it looks like, so that the audience can really understand how does it feel to enter a lab, Fabio, you as a designer, and to be able to use all these chemistry and to be able to take the time of Luca. I think your time is very expensive, and Belen, yeah, share with us your experience.
Yes, thank you, Isabel. Yes, basically, I can tell my experience. I think the technician, the co-creation between artist and technician and designer and all the field is a perfect match because, for example, I enter in the co-creation process with only one product, the leather one, with my knowledge that were very, very small compared to a technician. So during this month, I could, I understood how they work, and also they like understood my way of thinking. So from this co-creation, for this reason, I could, how to say, I could learn a different technique. So when you learn something, you are able to change also your product and enrich this project. So for this reason, from my starting idea, they became three production line. And what they were saying in ITEX is, this is the point of the co-creation. You come up with an idea, but sometimes this idea can evolve and become better. So this is what's helped me a lot. I learned a lot from technician. I was in the laboratory doing different mix with different bio-based polymers. So this practice is something that really I couldn't have the possibility to try with my own how to say, without any scholarship. Yeah, it's very difficult also for company, for designer to access to laboratories that are normally with different NDA, different stuff, different problems. You cannot enter in it. So I think the core experience here in the ReFREAM is that you are in the laboratory. You take the decision, of course, with the help of the technician, and you can also learn. It's very formative program, I think. And also it merge design and tech, which is the focus of the project. At the same time, I think and I hope that the technician also learned something about me regarding my know-how, how to do the things, because we started with a product and now I changed. Once I could learn how to manage and how to build it, the product changed. So also the technician were like, yes, you had a Shant. It's a very interesting way to include the sustainable product on your material. So I think I hope also the experience for the technician were good with me, because by my point of view it was perfect. I learned a lot. I have a lot of ideas now.
So let's hear Luca and Belen.
Yes, I start. Sorry, Belen.
Well, if you want.
Okay. So I completely agree with Fabio. It's a good, great experience because I think the artist or the designer can offer other point of view, other vision about the use of technical or machine in order to produce new material or rethinking existing material. So it's well, it's a win-win relationship between one artist, one designer, and other technician, in order to rethinking and start with other new ideas with this collaboration.
Yes, thank you, Isabel, for asking us this question, because it's very important to show that technology is the key for an ethical and sustainability way, research and development of new methods and devices to integrate new ecological materials, well, is the way to sustainability. But for for the process, new ideas, new thoughts with different points of views are necessary. The mix between art and tech enrich the creation and the co-creation processes, I think.
So the experience was positive? Did you learn?
Yeah.
Great. So are you looking forward for the next artist joining your hub?
Yes.
Of course, for sure.
So thank you. Jeff, I know you also brought crazy a lot of a lot of scientists in different labs. Tell us about, because your project involved a lot of different technologies and different labs. So perhaps you can tell us a bit about your research journey.
My research journey actually has been one of the most beautiful experiences in my design life, honestly, because I started this project in 2018 and I have been having a lot of challenges in my mind. Oh, how am I going to do this? How am I going to do that? Who do I need? Who do I approach? And then I went to an exhibition and I bumped into ITEX, and then I started involving with them and having contact with them. So when I entered the ReFREAM project, I was really eager to know all the stories, everybody that were working inside the hub. So I made a diary for myself, and I chose to be as transparent as possible about everything that I have been experiencing during this project. So working the first week working in ITEX, I started learning about filament processes, and I was given the chance to get to know a lot of interesting technicians and all these technologies that they were using, and also the questions that they have been having about how you can sustain the process, but what money kind of investment challenge this has if you want to innovate, but also to sustain. So it has been a very organic mix, step by step, on learning what they have to say and also having a good time with them as well, because you are working together and you are engaging. So this was also very beautiful for me. I've been working in Alcoy, but also in Linz. So having the experience to get to know different cultures and get to know different people with different technologies in different cities helped me a lot to elevate my project to an unimaginable level.
Yeah, because actually I got to know your project at the stage when you were at IR, which is one of the most prestigious fashion contests right now. You come from the fashion background, which is amazing because your profile is so special. You're a fashion designer, but since 2016 you are researching about materials. And here in the ReFREAM project, you developed this very new filament. Then now you are researching about on techniques of weaving and knitting. And then there's also this other aspect, which is very interesting because this is offering a completely new user experience, because you're developing garments which are adaptive to the human body. So it's a complete new system and a complete new design and production system. So congratulations, and congratulations also to all the people who collaborated with you, because I can't really imagine how complex this is. Also for the scientists. So I have to switch to, thank you, Jeff. Perhaps we have questions.
Isabel, we have actually this, on the topic, we have a question from Sylvia in our audience, and she's wondering more about the finality of ReFREAM and what happens at the end of the process at the end of this research process. Her question is, what is the future of all ideas and materials that are created during the call? Is it for personal collections, or will you make it commercial for everyone? Some of our artists, maybe Elizabeth or Yu Yang, do you feel comfortable answering that question?
Yes, I can answer it. Well, I think it's really a matter of concept and sharing. For me personally, I create my material in order for all the designers to have more possibilities in sustainable design. So,
because sharing is a key aspect, we are going to have an open innovation platform on our website at FREAM. And actually, like today, all the knowledge developed through the process will be shared. And this is also a very important aspect of the FREAM project.
Yes, indeed. This is all about, ReFREAM in general is about what we call the which is sharing in processes and also in sharing in the results. This is to improve our world.
Yeah. So let's keep, I don't know, Patricia, because we are already at our timeline, how much time we have left.
So I decided myself to extend until 6:45, if you all agree. I think the most interesting way to know about the ReFREAM project is to hear your experiences. So I think the audience will allow us 50 more minutes.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Patricia. So, David, you be careful about the questions because they're important that we can answer them. So, Elizabeth, your project is about circular fashion. You developed a whole new system also, including design and production, new design and production systems. And how do you experience the co-research and co-creation process inside the ReFREAM project? Because you also developed your project with several hubs. You were in Profactor. And can you tell us about your journey?
I think for me, the most amazing part was to discover the other designer in the hub, and also to discover that they were mainly material focused, and I was almost the only fashion designer. Like Jeff is fashion designer, but is super focused on material. And it's a great journey because it's not only exchanges with scientists and with technicians, but also in between artists. And just between the conversation we were discussing with Fabio, or can I maybe use part of his material he created with micronebulization, and Carmina in a garment that I will create on my own. So it's all about interconnection, and when it's not working together, it's exchanging thought about the fashion future, and discussing our sustainability is really important to all of us. And in my project, it reflects in two parts. One is really object design focused, and the other is more about system design. So I create modular and seamless garments, and the goal of them is to have a longer lifespan, and at the same time to allow the user to experience the pleasure of renewal, of change, because fashion needs to stay fun to me. And with a modular garment, you can adapt it. So the project of Jeff adapt to weather condition and to the body, and mine try to adapt to the will and to the need of the user by being able to changing size or adapting to season, like cold weather coming out, and you put like a new fur color on your coat to get it warmer, things like that. And on another level, I try to promote local and on-demand production of customized products. And all the technology I discovered, because I was using a lot the laser cut machine already in my work previously, but I discovered the micro nebulization. It was totally new for me. The O2 on indigo dyes also, and all of those technology gave us ideas, and to me it's helped me to materialize what can become this kind of urban micro manufacturing unit with all those technology that can be implemented all together. And maybe one day we will be able just to download a file and go to this shop manufacturing unit to make it produced, to make your garment being produced, customized and made on measurement, and with the fabric library only owning white fabrics, and we can dye it and print it and embroidery it just like the consumer wish, and having every person having a personalized product, and at the same time a product that can live longer because it can change and adapt to every situation. That's my dream. We'll see.
Yeah, interesting. First of all, you're true, Elisabeth, because besides that, all the winning artists are creating their projects in this co-creation process with the scientists. There is a common mission in FREAM, which is about redefining fashion through identifying new urban manufacturing processes, something you did. So congratulations to you. And because it's a systemic thinking, this is something we really need. And I would like to pass the word to Carmina, because the Hub Valencia is about sustainability. This is the really very specific focus. And Carmina, could you explain us which are the key aspects to downsize the impacts, environmental impacts in the fashion production chain?
Thank you, Isabel. I think that there are 6 important points that resume all what can be done, I think. One is we need to reduce the waste. We need to reuse the materials already used. We need to reduce the resources that we use to produce new ones. Research is very important, not only in processes, but also in technology. And it is needed also to change the pattern of the consumer that used to be. Another important word that we normally use is ethics, because ethics must be not only in, of course, in the textile industry, but processes, technology, whatever is developed, not only has to seem that is sustainable, but must be sustainable. There is many an ethic. And of course, you spoke about the chain. All the chain must be involved from the source material up to the designer, the technologies, also the consumer must be involved to be able to be really sustainable.
You talk about ethics. This is a very important value, which now through the COVID came out as a very specific focus for the future of the fashion sector. But let's go from ethic to aesthetics. Yu Yang, which are the opportunities and the importance which offers the integration of design and artistic criteria in the development of materials? Usually fashion designers are not involved in the development of materials. And which is your experience?
So firstly, my major is textile design, and my research direction was sustainable material design. My project was developed in the Green Lab, led by my professor. So in Green Lab, I realized the importance and future development of the sustainable design. So with our growing attention and need for sustainable development, people are starting to realize how crucial environment protection is, and they're starting to think about how can live a sustainable lifestyle. So as a textile designer, I have the interest and responsibility to bring sustainable products to people. So in my project, the combination of art and design will help me in realizing my design, making my material more competitive and attract more attention. So, and let people to know more about the concept of sustainable development. Yeah.
Yeah, this is interesting. You talk about combination, and also Carmina before told us we have to think in a very holistic way in the whole process. So let's say that we need to balance things out. And I remember Fabio, he said about his values are also a combination about design, tradition, heritage, science. So this is now the final question for you all. Which are these key values we have to balance in the future, which are going to define the future, the sustainable future of fashion? It's up to everybody.
Okay. So first of all, I think in order to reduce the environmental impact in fashion, we as designer have to think of a bigger picture. Not only the final product from design, manufacture, and distribution, but we also have to follow a sustainable guideline in each step. On top of that, one of the problems we encounter before is that there used to be very little sustainable materials that are fully capable of fulfilling our design concept. However, taking my project, for example, we try to use biochemical technology and polymer physics science to enhance the performance of my biomaterial. Technology can help us increase our efficiency in recycling the material. Additionally, with the help of advanced processing technologies like laser cutting and printing, we can create products that have more aesthetics features. In this way, it can help us to increase our efficiency in recycling. It can help us to realize our idea and the concept. So I think future designs with the help of advanced technology will be more resourceful and effective in converting their ideas in sustainable design into reality.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Yu Yang. Who wants to join the discussion?
To me, the first point is sustainability should not be anymore a selling point. It should be mandatory for everyone. It should be sustainable design strategies for everyone and not a selling point, because it creates a lot of noises for the consumer, and it's confusing, it's difficult to navigate in between all the selling points of sustainable product. And I hope that in the future it won't be a discussion anymore. Everyone will be like working in this direction. And then I think the key point would be having a reasonable use of technology, because technology can be super useful to achieve sustainability, but also to give a better user experience. and having a synergic approach, because as Carmina told us, for circular economy, we need to gather all partners. We need to see the whole supply chain. We need to see the entire life cycle of the product. So we need to step back a bit and have a look at the big picture and at the full timeline. So yeah, I think that's my 3 points.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
May I add something? Hello?
Yeah?
Yeah, Fabio, go.
No, thank you, Yang and Elizabeth, because she was explaining almost what I had in mind. But also I have to say that we have to think. And sorry if I'm very if I insist in this, but we have to keep it local, because it ensures also a big variety of design and innovation depending of the place where they born. So is a way to be as a way to be sustainable. It's, as 50 years ago is nothing new, but we also have to slow down our consumption, our idea that everything can be bought in the entire at the same time and during the entire year. I used to do the example of the strawberries or mango or avocado. In winter, we want to eat strawberries with cream and everything, but strawberries are from spring. So why we need to have some product and something during the entire year and not waiting to the nature and also to keep this emotion you have once you change the season, and also have again, okay, it's spring, is a moment of strawberries, so you have again this this emotion. No, I think people and consumer, and me too, everybody, we use now to get everything at the moment, so we lost any motivation and happy, how to say, you know, and the fun to different. Nothing is change really our way to face these challenges. So I think keep it local and consume just if you need to do it, not just for this reason. We cannot buy a shirt with €3 because this is not sustainable. Nobody can work with a shirt without with €3. You can imagine how much is paid the person who is sewing this shirt. So it's not ethical. It's, as Carmina was saying, we have to slow down and keep it calm and do it very good things and innovation in a way that is environmentally friendly.
Thank you, Fabio. In fact, Noor just asked, he would like to know if local production is crucial for sustainable production.
Yes, actually, Fabio answered this question. I don't know if you saw it, Fabio, but this is actually what Fabio was concerned. And also what is interesting, that Fabio came out with something which is now the big discussion in the fashion sector, which are the seasons, and that perhaps, like you propose, we have to adapt the agenda to the resources of the planet and not vice versa. So yeah. This is an interesting change for fashion, because we have this season, because fashion is so different from other sectors because of its temporarity. So let's see how it's evolving in the future. So I would like to hear, like, finally also Jeff, because he comes from the fashion sector. And Jeff, how do you see the future of fashion, which are, you know, this balance we are looking for, and how do you think we are going to achieve it?
How I personally see the future, how I want to respond to you, is that I dream about people getting more involved with what they wear. So in my case, changing the way that we make fashion would be an interesting conversation to have in the future about the production chain of the material from a yarn towards a fabric towards the consumer. I think all those steps should be re-evaluated, and yeah, I think that's the main point that I want to comment, to change the way that we make fashion. I think that's the global idea.
Yeah, but you all, also Carmina and Yu Yang and Elizabeth, you all agreed that the consumer behavior has to be changed too. So we need all to be more committed and more conscious about what we wear and how we consume. So this is something there's a common commitment in between the designers and also the users.
I think we need also, as designer, to give to the consumer like a path. We need to take it by the hand sometime and to create step-by-step user involvement in order for people to change gradually, because it's not easy to change all your habits in once. And we are the people who try to create a sustainable fashion, but sometimes we need a pair of socks and we buy something cheap and we regret it, and we also do mistakes, and we need to, I think we have a role that is a bit educational, and I think education is very, very important on this topic, but also we need to keep fashion playful. So to me, it's something that is very important. We need to find ways to approach the consumer in a playful way, to bring them gradually to sustainable consumption and to more thinking about their action and their purchase, but in a fun and easy way. So I think it's also our role as designer to create this user experience and not being just judgmental and like, yeah, I don't like this kind of way to just judge people because of their behavior and criticize them. And yeah, I think we need to create other storytelling around sustainability also.
I agree, but I think also one important mention is control. So we know as designers, we decide what people are going to wear. So I'm really fascinated about the challenge, how we can start a dialogue with bringing the consumer more closer into the design process, where the material can create almost a dialogue with the person that is going to buy, for example, the fabric, and that it grows in a specific way that it wants to grow and complement the body type that the consumer has eventually, because we all come in different sizes and shapes. So I think control should also be re-evaluated in the future.
I think, guys, that I mean, you are of course right. I share with you this thought, but as a designer, okay, we have the job to teach consumer, but end consumer is not the solution. I will explain better. We talk about all the time end user to customize for the user, blah blah blah. But what produce clothes and material is for the end user, our company. So we have to change the mind of the companies, because consumer then will buy this kind of thing. And it's very difficult now to buy something sustainable, because there is there is not a regulation in any company explain how to buy this kind of thing and doesn't propose sustainable products. If big companies propose sustainable products with a higher price, of course, consumer will buy. So we don't have to change. I mean, of course, we have to change the mind of the consumer. But I think as a designer, our generation, we are always know how to work with sustainability. The big deal is to convince big company that think more in money than in environment, I think.
Yes, I totally agree. That's why, for example, if I'm going back to my project, I also have an aesthetic part of my project, for example, but the yarn that, for example, I am developing, I also would like other designers to use it, because a lot of textile designers want to create, for example, shape into the textiles, and then they get limited to what the industry can offer. So I think in that case, your comment to bring also the big companies, I think for designers, it's also interesting to go outside your project and to go outside your aesthetic, conceptual expression, and to offer a product that can also change big companies.
Yeah.
Yes, like an open source.
Yeah.
So it's
that could be playful as well.
So there's a common thing you are all addressing. It's about sharing, collaborating, creating dialogues. And this is actually what FREAM about. I see Patricia, I think we finish with this. Like, actually FREAM is about creating a dialogue, to learn from each other, to exchange knowledge, to create bridges. And yeah, Patricia, I think our timing is finished here, and I hope the audience, if they have still questions, they can send an email. And I hope it was inspiring. I'm very inspired again, even if I know the projects. I think you all, the 4 art tech teams, gave us so much information today, and it was so inspiring. And I think we are going through people like you who are so committed. I think this inspires us to be more committed, because sustainability is not a choice anymore. So congratulations to all. I enjoyed very much being with you, and I give you, Patricia, the word.
Yeah, thank you, Isabel. In fact, I'm really happy. I come from the environmental engineering field, and it makes me really happy to know that different fields are also concerned in the environment and fashion, which is normal about fast fashion and so on, is really changing. And this ReFREAM project is helping on it. I'm gonna share with you to end up with this webinar our promotion video, okay, which we are really proud. And I would like to remember you that you will find us on Instagram, in Facebook, Twitter, and we have a help desk email where you will have direct access to the call managers to help you solve any inquiry you may have. We will open the call 1st of July until 30th of September. So next week you will have all the information updated in the web. We have changed many things from the last call, so just wait to prepare your application form until next week when you have the new info. Okay, I'm gonna play the video. Sorry. Okay, I think there were problems in hearing the video, but there was just music, so it's not a big issue. You can also watch it again in our YouTube channel of FREAM, okay? And here you have the mail of the help desk. Is helpdesk at re-fream.eu. Okay, you can ask the call managers if you have any doubt, but you will have next week a lot of information, a help desk section in the web, okay, that we are updating now. Thanks everybody for attending. Thanks to the panelists. Thanks to Isabel and Carmina, and also to David for moderating. And we hope you get inspired with the projects and motivated to apply for our second call. And yeah, in case you want to review the webinar again, we will post it in our social media as well and in the YouTube channel. That's it. We are done for today.